Camellia Tideborn drew her very first breath on a still dawn, 15 July 1999, in a peach-colored bungalow balanced on pilings above the glass-flat backwaters of Sapaloo Sound, Georgia. A rogue fiddler crab clicked along the porch rail while her mother, a traveling brass band trombonist who keeps pressed swamp lily petals in her mouthpiece case, eased a sleepy riff that sent salt shakers rattling on the kitchen shelf. Her father, a night shift shrimp dock electrician who doodles tiny cloud ospreys on work tickets, leaned so close their lashes almost touched and promised his newborn that title rumors, playground snickers, and one-size shrinks all clothing racks would always shuffle aside for any heart bold enough to stand full height. Curves had swirled through the Tideborn family tree since a great-grandmother outdanced a hurricane at a Gulaf ring shout, so nobody fretted when baby Camellia burst her second cotton swaddle long before the kettle hissed. Granny Lullabelle slipped a bait needle through every rip, patched the blanket with scraps cut from a faded shrimp trawl flag, and laughed that spare fabric cost pennies while teaching a child to shrink can bankrupt her entire sunrise horizon. Grade school hallways carried scents of cedar pencil shavings, hush puppy steam drifting from the cafeteria hatch, and brackish wind sneaking through crooked sash frames. Camellia already stood a head higher than her classmates, shading the overhead bulb whenever she mapped horseshoe crab cycles on the pull-down chart. One humid recess, two boys hop-step rings around her, chanting cargo tanker each time her rubber boots smacked a chalk square. In the twilight, she scoured the ebbing strand for soda caps and oyster discs, strung them on fishing filament, stitched the tinkling chain down her cement hoodie, and strode into class at dawn, scattering rainbow freckles across ceiling tiles. A volunteer reading coach filmed 8 shaky seconds on a prepaid flip phone, posted the clip to a brand new video nook, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who hammered teasing into Lighthouse. Camellia scrawled herself one promise in lavender ink beside subtraction drills: clouds, crowd only until you flash them bright enough to part. Saturdays belonged to the shrimp docks, where her mother's trombone slides tangled with diesel cackles, fry basket hisses, and gulls lobbying for mullet tails. Off-the-rack jeans locked halfway on Camelia's thighs, so she swapped tip-jar nickels for sun-bleached cast net, unraveled it into rope, crocheted high-waist culottes, sprayed marsh hen silhouettes with squid ink, and posed as Scarlet Sunset against rust-veined pilings while her cousins snapped grainy photos. Every frame slipped into an online diary she titled Lantern Wake. During the very week, a fresh photo app fluttered across patchy barriers outlined towers. Captions hopped between Sapelo slang and bare truths like curves anchor gale gusts steadier than seawalls. Before Sweet 16 candles flickered, she counted 55,000 unseen hearts tapping like icons beneath each tangerine flash. Proof glowing screens hush cafeteria, whispers faster than any assistant coach whistle. A barrier/island scholarship tugged her west to Louisiana State. Daylight vanished inside Oyster Reef Hydrodynamics Labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour beignet wagon, glowing neon guava under live oak shadows. The heat lamp served as her lone softbox. Between powdered sugar orders, she filmed 90-second reels, folding parchment into palmetto barrettes, while decoding dart rotation in half surf hush and half lecture zip. One upload laid dolphin whistles on a lo-fi groove, while she chain-stitched reflective crab trap cord into thrift denim. 46 hours later, the counter skimmed past 1.2 million. Delta fashion blogs crowned her the beignet couturier, though every sponsor mail froze at size 16. Camellia parked each pitch in a folder marked shrinking nets, wiped praline glaze from her cuff, and plated another basket. Hurricane Drills Week landed an email from Columbia Sportswear asking her to co-design a humidity-proof shell capsule called Low Tide Pulse. She answered with 3 dock-solid terms, patterns through 60-inch hips, half the creative crew hired from community college design programs, and 10% of net profit pumped into Oyster Reef Revival, from the Altamaha down to Apalachicola. Columbia signed before Dome pinked the lab skylight. The shoe unfolded at sunrise on a show, where hatchling terrapins scraped commas toward mere water. Camellia steered curvy paddle borders across glass ripples while a drone drew silver infinity loops overhead. When the lookbook dropped, every extended size jacket sold out in 41 hours across 30 nations. Lantern Wake leapt beyond 700,000 glowing avatars, Still sprinkled with cinnamon dust from an overnight fritter sprint, she balanced her phone atop a flower crate, ducked behind burlap sacks, and live-streamed Tear Bright Thanks beneath buzzing fluorescence. First Bright Splash, if you are already vibing with this journey, hit that subscribe icon right now. One fingertip secures your front row rail so the next chapter glides into your feed ahead of the algorithm tide. Spotlight Shimmer beckoned rumor goals. A clickbait blog claimed Camellia strapped metal plates around her waist beneath those low-tide jackets. At dawn, she paddled a cedar board through Spartina shadows, planted her feet in sports bra and linen shorts, outlined every stretch line with crushed bougainvillea powder, and blasted a trombone riff so raw pelicans halted midair. 10 million viewers reposted the jam, tagged bougainvillea proof, brushing pink dust across their own curves until gossip settled like silt. The beignet wage is toying with capsule royalties and whipped into sea willow butter, a humming custard, folding Tupelo blossom cream, key lime seed oil, and mica sparks that glow pearl under phone flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's chart desk, lids tied with braided trot line, each tag stamp, moisturize your horizon. Inventory drained in 83 minutes, lifting $197,000. 20% birthed beacon grants that ferry industrial surgers and hydrophones to plus-size teams in estuary schools from Brunswick to Biloxi. 8 months later, 36 grant winners streamed a floating fashion and dolphin song pageant from a retro shrimp scowl strung in LED Spartina, greeting sunrise classrooms from Kingston to Nairobi. New Orleans Fashion Week scripted New Levy folk word when a backstage blower tore her indigo mesh gown top to him 90 heartbeats before runway. Camellia ripped neon dock rope off a rig post, laced the gap like hiking hooks, and walked the catwalk as if the splice lived in every sketch. Camera shutters cracked like skillet corn. Vogue Delta crowned the save rope cadence. Another million lantern lights popped before horns stirred the after-party hush. One disgruntled liaison leak cropped emails hinting she demanded crab hush puppy towers and chauffeured airboats for her rescue Spoonbill Meridian. She posted the full chain revealing refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, and caption screens for deaf stylists. Then directed that month's affiliate wave $136,000 into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Osabao. Fans echoed her marsh chant receipts sparkle louder than rumor grit until whispers faded like sea fog. Midsummer metrics shimmered teal. 6.9 million Instagram friends, 3.4 million real voyagers, 2 million steady channel subscribers, engagement brushing 10%, and sending brand planners back to empty slides. Cartier invited her to headline a Topaz Surge vignette filmed inside Sapello's spiral lens. She agreed once Cartier funded therapy stipends for oyster shuckers battered by back-to-back storm. The finished clip, her wrists scattering amber shards across iron ribs, stands as Cartier's most saved post this quarter. Family keeps her keel true. Twice a month, she streams Porchline Groove. Mama pumps funk chords beside a propane skillet. Daddy recites cloud haiku. And Camellia flips thrift denim under fairy bulbs. One broadcast tipped 9 million views when Meridian waddled through powdered sugar and sneezed glitter onto the lens. A seabird refuge now sponsors every session, tracking rehabilitated spoonbills with solar beacons funded by sea willow butter. Butter revenue cruised past 12 million before its second equinox. She leased an idle oyster storehouse, hacked skylights through corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip custard and knot lids by hand during midday dance breaks to trombone house loops. Consultants begged for shrink bands. She echoed her mother's line, "Fingers keep legends long after robots forget," and rope ties stood firm. Her feed speaks mind-weathered truth. Coquina Bluff portraits sit beside sandwich truck selfies captioned, "Same sky, different tide." She releases breath loops recorded inside CKs, resilience pages in English and Gullah, and sliding scale therapy links. 134,000 readers claim her shoreline openness as their first calm harbor. Community rides glow and crush out paint. Hundreds coast sunset levees wearing sea willow butter, long collarbones, and LED seal tassels on spokes. Ticket proceeds grow beacon grants and lift wheelchair snorkel rigs at Clear Spring Coves. Chowder shacks fry late. Crab stew bowls jump 15% on ride nights. Camellia pedals lead on a vintage cruiser with Meridian plush bungeed front, pausing to lace any rider's drifting sneaker. She is fine-tuning a memoir titled Currents Keep Names, due in 11 languages next spring, while a documentary crew trails her plan to convert retired tide buoys into floating maker hubs for Mars schools. Puma's Y2 Wave Lantern sneaker lands next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, funneling 10% of proceeds into beacon seedlings across the Gulf Rim. Here comes your second gentle reminder to subscribe. If that button still glows red, turn it cool gray this moment. One tap promises the next tide slides into your notifications long before algorithm undertow can pull it under. When this playback slows to hush, you will find fresh jars of sea willow butter, express beacon grant portals, tonight's Porcelain Groove playlist, and one discreet compass tucked in the description. That compass is a research-rooted kit of conversation sparks and calm confidence moves, plotting the clearest route toward true love and the most reliable path to help any woman you meet feel warm intrigue. Free, wide open, one touch away. Share the soda cap, spine flash, rope lace gown rescue, or meridian glitter sneeze raise even half a grain. Smash like let your brightest ripple roll in the comments, and share this voyage with a friend whose sails hang slack. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the marsh boasts to anyone who plants both boots on the pier and greets tomorrow eyes wide. Final low swell touches the pilings. Subscribe right now, claim your rail, follow the love link resting in the description, and meet me on the next rising tide when another story flickers just beyond the breakers and courage calls your name anew.